There's one. Set for stun.
Three guys sitting in a dark room that smells like bad cucumbers.
Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
Inconceivable!
Now featuring 11 listeners.
This is the Unique Geek.
You slimy scumbag, get on your face and give me 25.
This is the Unique Geek.
And welcome to another edition of 50 Days of Dragon Con, where, it's a podcast that may float away at any moment, because Florida. And joining me, as always, Lee.
Hello. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
And so we'll just want to, everybody knows that I have some health issues, and that's why we haven't really been able to broadcast this week. So we apologize, but I got lots of directors that can't wait to talk about stuff till they can announce it.
Mhm.
So, hey, we'll have a lot of people over the next 2 weeks.
Right. Yeah, and just so everyone knows, usually this is sort of the case that we have a little bit of trouble getting people scheduled and everything else. So that's that. And plus, it's not just Lee. Both of us are having some health issues, but and so life's getting in the way of some things. So
How dare life get in the way of our fandom fun?
yeah, I know.
It's damn sad.
But we do. We know we're behind. All right,
Yeah,
Lee.
we're going to catch up. So I'm just looking really quick because there have been a lot of people just announced. We got a lot more people that will be in puppetry. You need to go look that up. We've got Sesame Street Workshop Train Puppeteer. God, puppeteering always gets so much interest. But I thought there was somebody who was announced. Oh, yeah. So my favorite girl crush ever, Ming-Na Wen, is going to be at Dragon Con. And the reason I love Ming-Na Wen is because Mulan was the first movie where the Disney princess saved everybody else. So I'm so excited she's coming. Also Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., also The Mandalorian, and The Adventures of Boba Fett. So she is our serious Disney princess in lots of different ways because she kicked ass in S.H.I.E.L.D., she's kicking ass in the Mandalorian universe, and she also kicked ass in Asia.
Yeah.
So, hey, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And in Mulan. So, but, John, as I say, I'm getting really excited. I don't know about you, but I'm also excited about things that are coming up.
Can you just not hide it? Are you about to lose control?
I am always about to lose control.
Do you like it?
I do like it. Do you like it?
I have the pill for you. Hold on one moment.
I can't wait. Go. No. But I am so excited because I keep watching like the previews because I'm also watching the Olympics, and then all these new shows come up. And one of the new shows that comes up is the Ring of Power. And we've got Jennifer, who is over High Fantasy at Dragon Con, who can help my squee in that. So hi, Jennifer.
Hello.
Hi.
I mean, when I was scratching my eyes.
Oh, sorry
about
that.
No,
You're fine. It's good. It's good.
The world of the internet.
Everything is live and raw and special and powerful.
And yes, and we all have glasses on, so all of our eyes are probably dry.
You can't see my eyes anyway.
Yeah, right.
There's no way to edit audio. Everyone knows that.
Yeah. Yep. But Jennifer, okay, I love The Hobbit, but I am not, as a book. And as the animated movie, I absolutely adored it. But I was like, okay, with whatever afterwards, after The Hobbit, the Three Towers. So, but now we're in the Ring of Power, and I'm telling you, I cannot wait for that to come back. My husband and I have rewatched at least the Ring of Power one time, at least a whole rewatch. Same thing we did with Wheel of Time, which Andrew tried to read the books and he's just like, I gave up.
Yeah, the books are a lot.
Well, as he said, I don't know about you, but it's like a part of the books was always explaining everything that had happened in prior books. So it was like, at what page can I start with the new stuff? So he got a little frustrated about book 5 on that.
Yeah, well, about book 6 is when he stops doing that. So
Oh, okay. So
that's
good.
when he's like, if you've picked up book 6 of this series, you should know what's going on. It's your fault if you. But yeah.
Well, then I'll go get him book 6 and get him rehooked. But Jennifer, what does High Fantasy of Dragon Con do other than listen to me get so excited about elves and things like that?
So high fantasy is separate from fantasy literature. High fantasy is not a media or a literature or a video game track. High fantasy is a pure genre track. So any medium that can be high fantasy can be covered by this track. And so we are TV shows, we are video games, we are movies, we are books, mythology, we are art, anything that you can think of, be like, oh yeah, that's high fantasy. That's what this track encompasses. And
I'm sorry, did I hear pathology? No.
Mythology.
Okay, yeah, I was wondering who we were dissecting.
Mythology is a whole nother track.
Yeah. Yeah, it's way down the road. Both science and probably extract have parts of that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I interrupted because I got very confused.
No, that's fine. That's fine. But yeah, so high fantasy, we cover a lot of those big properties that you've heard of, like Wheel of Time and Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones. We also cover The Witcher, and we've been added the Wizard of Oz this year. So Frank L. Baum's Wizard of Oz, we now encompass that.
Wow.
Yeah, we get some really good stuff.
You do.
And then we also talk a lot about world building, because world building is a very integral part of the high fantasy setting. Stories that have a quest narrative tend to fall under us. We talk a lot about elves and wizards and dragons and things like that. We also like to talk about the mythological sources that people draw upon to do high fantasy. We have some great panels on the Irish mythology this year and how that impacts high fantasy.
Well, which ones would be impacted by Irish mythology and Irish pathos, as it were?
Yeah. Well, because you can see my Wheel of Time art over my head right now.
I can totally see it. Yes.
Wheel of Time has a lot of Irish mythology embedded in it. And there's a few other things. Jason Denzel's books have some Irish mythology in them. There's a bunch. There's a bunch.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
It's there.
You hit it with Wheel of Time, which is again just, and they've done an amazing. I have not read the books, but that world building has gotten me and just grabbed me, and I really need no more fandoms, Jennifer.
I'm sorry.
Dang it.
I'm sorry I did this to you personally.
Look, see, you can see all the things that are on my dick. Oh no, there's
so much that the glare of it just blinded us all.
I'm so sorry about that, folks. I was showing Harry Potter and Star Wars and things of that nature, but you can also see in the back.
Real quick.
Yes.
Rob actually asked a question in chat. He says, what advice can you give to someone who's never been to your programming before? What is a good starting point for your programming?
So that is a really interesting question. Because I don't know how to answer that without knowing what it is you're interested in. We have panels that are specific to particular fandoms. Like we have several Game of Thrones panels or House of the Dragon this year. We have several Lord of the Rings panels and Wheel of Time and The Witcher. But we also have things that are specific to different kinds of world building or mythology. Like one of our panels this year is astrological phenomena in high fantasy. So things like eclipses and auroras, like we've all experienced this calendar year.
Yes.
How do those get incorporated into high fantasy? What do those look like? So if you're interested in something like that. Then I also have a category that I call book recommendation panels. And those are things like the panel, like we've got one called The Black Fantastic, which is focusing on authors from the African diaspora that write high fantasy. And so that one, I expect you to come away with a list of books and authors you want to check out. So
I always love those list things. Those are always fun. Yes.
Yeah. No, I always make sure to have at least a couple book recommendation panels where it's like, here's a topic. If you are interested in more books about this or on this topic or by this type of author, here's what you need to do. Like, here's people to go check out.
Well, and I want to ask the question that I'm always terrified to ask because we have a huge copy of it in my house. But do you do anything with Silmarillion? And I'm probably pronouncing it wrong because I always do, from the Tolkien era.
I think you're saying it correctly.
Oh yeah.
Because again, we're all readers. We've read a lot of words that we've never heard
Yes.
pronounced. So I think that's how I've heard it said.
Mhm.
Oh, it's Sarah Rose.
Hi, Sarah.
I'm going to talk about you, Sarah. Calm down.
Sarah, quit poking in your nose.
No, Sarah's great.
Yeah,
I love Sarah.
We love Sarah. Yes.
Let's see, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, the Silmarillion. So we have some really good deep dives into Tolkien. One of the things that we have this year is Dr. Constance Wagner, who, oh my God, I can't remember the name of her school, but it's up in New Jersey. But she's an English professor at a school in New Jersey, and she is doing a presentation on apocalyptic motifs in Lord of the Rings.
Ooh.
So that is definitely going to pull from the Silmarillion as well as other places that Tolkien wrote in.
Right. Another question, as I think about so many of the shows and things that are out now, I think of Sandman, which brings in a lot of different mythos, but I'm not sure Sandman is in your wheelhouse, as it were.
It doesn't. I think it falls under either urban fantasy or American sci-fi media.
Okay. Yeah. Because I know at one point it was all comics.
One of those two.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that'll be good. We'll be talking to him. So yeah, we'll check.
You mentioned you cover video games. What video games do you guys cover as well?
So obviously The Witcher, because we get to cover all aspects of The Witcher, the books, the video game, and the show. But we also, for video game focus panel this year, we are doing the Hades video game series. The second game in that is in beta right now, and a lot of people are really buzzing about how great it is. And how this is going to be a really great sequel to a really awesome game that was published recently. And so we've got a panel focusing on how Greek mythology has been adapted into this video game.
Oh, very, very cool. Very, very cool. And just so I can ask about my shallow thought. So on The Witcher, do you have, something about how many people take their shirt off in The Witcher? Because, I'm just saying that would get me up at like 10 a.m. to come to a panel.
Are you having a shirt off lookalike contest?
That might be like a later evening panel than 10 a.m. Yeah.
I'm trying to find after dark people. So, okay. But is there anything, now we've talked about a lot of things, but is there anything you specifically are really excited about this year? Other than just everything, but
oh man. Okay. So obviously I run high fantasy because I'm excited about high fantasy, and I don't put anything on the schedule unless either I'm personally excited by it or I'm excited to see your reaction to it. So I'm always excited about something. We have our annual Evening at Brie party, which will be at 8:30 on Friday, and we've moved to a bigger room this year. We're going to be in the Cortland Grand Ballroom. And
people are so excited. I'm bet.
Oh my God, it's going to be a much bigger party.
Yes.
Another thing we have, and I cannot remember the time off the top of my head, but because Wizard of Oz was added to our track this year, we get to host the official Wicked sing-along this year.
Oh, I bet that's why Sarah Rose wants to. Yeah, that's why Sarah Rose is all there.
Yeah, Sarah Rose came to me and pitched this to me, and I was like, yes, absolutely, I want to do it. I got permission to add Wizard of Oz to our track, and so we are now the official home of Wizard of Oz content. So we are doing the Wicked sing-along, and then we also have an anniversary panel for the Wizard of Oz movie with Judy Garland.
Oh wow, that is very cool. And that would be like, oh my God, that's so many people that would love that. I just can't. I'm sitting here going, I hope you have a really big room because people love Wicked. They love it.
We got a nice big room for Wicked.
Awesome.
We wanted to do more Wicked, but oh my God, I already have so many things in my track. But there'll be more Wicked next year.
There's always stuff. There is always stuff that you get to add to tracks, and you want to do more than. But there's only so many hours in a day, and only one of you, Jennifer. So Unless we can
Well,
get
I
to
have an amazing
cloning.
staff, so that helps a lot.
Yes, it does.
Okay,
Yes.
so more big events in the ballroom. We have our annual Hobbit drinking songs.
Uh-huh.
With the Brobdingnagian Bards. I think I said that correctly. The Bards, we love them. They're going to do their Hobbit drinking songs for us. It's a concert performance. It's very lovely. Everyone loves it. And then also Sunday night at 10 o'clock, we are hosting our first ever Goblin Ball.
A goblin ball.
A goblin ball. So this is inspired by the dark fantasy movies of the 1980s. So think Labyrinth, think Dark Crystal, think Return to Oz. So that's kind of the aesthetic, the vibe we're going for.
What was the Tom Cruise and Tim Curry movie around that
Legend.
time? Legend. Thank you. Very
So
nice.
that's what the vibe we're going for. We've got a wonderful DJ. Her name is Rebecca Perry. If you are a Lord of the Rings fan, you have seen her on the OneRing.net panel. She's one of our panelists that comes from the OneRing.net every year, and she's a fantastic DJ. And she is super excited by this party. Like, this is really like, she's a great DJ, and this is really her wheelhouse. So it's going to be like a really great mix of music for people to dance to.
That's the great thing too, is there's so many wonderful DJs that are also fans, and they're like, "Oh, I can't." You didn't know, but I happen to be a huge Labyrinth fan.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, no, and I'm saying that's a DJ. You know, a DJ will be like, "Oh, I can't wait." Right. And so there's always that. So we love having DJs that are also fans and geeks and nerds like the rest of us, which is always good. So somebody is asking,
Brandon does remind us, because Brandon likes to cause trouble. Just make sure you bring your dance belt to the Goblin Ball for your Jareth cosplay.
Well, if it's any help, I'm trying to find the Dance Goblin dance song, but I can't find it. So I'm having a lot of problems here. But yes,
I have a friend who plays as Jareth, and he like shoves tennis balls down the front of his trousers to really like get the vibe going for that.
Get that dance belt filled, baby. Get that filled. You said something too pre-show that I kind of liked, which is when we watch things like Labyrinth now, and I'll even actually go into the Harry Potter stuff, and you and I were even chatting the John Hughes movies of our youth. Those are a little, now we look at them and go, yeah, David Bowie is sexy, but we've got a problem here.
We've learned a lot, and honestly, like, when you go back and look at Labyrinth using your modern adult, like 2024 lens, it actually makes the movie deeper and richer to realize how just very creepy this is. Like, it's like the sexuality of it is attractive, but also repellent, because it's not something you're ready to deal with as a preteen. And it just, I feel like that has to have been a deliberate choice. And it's that, yes, it's weird and creepy when you encounter, but if it's supposed to be creepy and off-putting that this much older man is trying to seduce this child.
Child works. That is a very good one.
I mean, she's 16.
Yeah, she's 16 in this, and you know, that's a little problematic. I do also love this because the puppets that were done in this were just amazing by the Henson Company, and just all of that. So it's a fun movie to watch. It's kind of like The Dark Crystal.
Yes.
Those things scared the skizzy things. Those scared the bejesus out of me.
I have trouble going back to rewatch the movie because it's like, I remember being really creeped out as a kid.
I know. And then when I saw those again on Farscape years in the future, I was like, okay, y'all gotta stop. These freaked me out when I was younger, and now they're freaking me out as an adult, and just which is the same thing Wizard of Oz with the monkeys. I don't know why the flying monkeys terrified me when I was a kid.
Well, and children's media used to be much scarier. Yeah, like when you go back and read the Wizard of Oz books, like there's wolves getting their heads ripped off and all sorts of things.
Yes.
Yeah. Kids really love creepy and scary, and I think it's good for them in many ways. Like you learn about monsters, and you learn that monsters can be defeated, right?
That's exactly right. I mean, I think that was a big part of the Goosebumps series, is knowing that, look, Yep, they're scary and there's weird and there's terrifying sometimes. But you know what? Keeping a level head will get you there. So calm down. You know, I love it. It's kind of the, work the problem one at a time. But yeah, I think that does help kids.
You learn to kind of practice having anxiety and working through the anxiety, like, because it's a low level anxiety and it's not real, but you still have to kind of work through it and kind of practice. Like, practicing dealing with anxiety is an underrated skill.
Yes, it is. And I think that's great. I just saw something that came up there, but I don't remember what it was. But we have something up here is you should invite Gates McFadden. This is from the Powell family, because she did choreography and movement coach. She did choreography for Labyrinth and movement coach for the Dark Crystal. It's kind of amazing what actors do before we knew them as actors, because they were very creative in other ways. So yeah,
I'm not sure I can do that.
That's not a bad idea. You never know. At least ask the question maybe when they're doing something else. You never know, because they do add other questions. So that's always good. There was something that just came up in the group chat, because I keep that quiet. That was it. Sarah Rose said she always loved Labyrinth, but heart is always with the Never-Ending Story. Are you doing that one as well? Is that in your wheelhouse?
Yes, that is something that High Fantasy can cover. We don't have anything specifically about it this year.
It was really funny because I don't know that my son had ever seen that movie, but we were all watching Stranger Things, and when they were singing to each other the Never-Ending Story, I just was like, my little heart was kind of like, oh, they're so cute, little baby teens. John, do you want to sing?
No. No. Brandon asks, does Stardust fall under High Fantasy?
Ooh.
It does. We did a Stardust anniversary panel a few years ago.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
Well, that is very cool. Good to know. Good to know.
I had another specific question.
Yes.
What about the video game Baldur's Gate 3? Does that fall under you guys?
It does. And one of the reasons why we decided not to do any Baldur's Gate programming this year is because the game is out fairly recently and the video game track is covering it in incredible depth. We'll probably tackle it next year because we really just want to talk about the lore and the storytelling. And we don't want people to come to our panel thinking that they're going to get like a lot of gameplay questions and things like that. Like last year, we did a panel on Diablo, and we had the people who are involved back, like the developers who are in charge of the lore and storytelling. And so we got to talk about those aspects of the game. And this gives us if we wait a year or two before we cover something, it gives us a chance to be full spoilers with it as well.
Yeah.
That's good. I like that. And yeah, you were talking about the video games. Do you do things with other tracks that might be like with video games? Do you do joint tracks? Maybe if you haven't already, are you thinking maybe in the future, as you said, Baldur's Gate and things like that?
We've done that in the past, and it just really depends on whether or not I remember to reach out to people before we throw our schedules.
I understand.
Yeah.
I know exactly where you're coming from on that. As a former director, it is, you're like, oh, I just thought of this great panel, and we just passed the date.
And High Fantasy, like, because it's such a foundational genre of spec fiction, our genre touches so many different tracks. And so we could do joint panels with almost every other track at Dragon Con. Like we did a joint panel with the Star Wars track a few years ago because we did a panel that was Space Wizards and Laser Swords, the high fantasy of Star Wars.
Oh yeah, there is a lot of high fantasy in that. Very
And I've got a panel I've been sitting on for a while about Doctor Who is really a wizard.
Oh.
I never have time for that. Like I always have something else that's a little bit more time sensitive I have to do.
John, you know that show that everybody in your family likes, but you, Doctor Who, you remember that one?
Whom?
Yeah.
Whom were you speaking of?
On Second Base.
That joke
Home plate.
Never been told before. Are we? The Powell family asks, are we having a Rings of Power screening this year?
I would love to have one. All I can do is ask and see what happens. we did a Wheel of Time screening last year, and we did not have confirmation from Amazon about whether or not that was going to happen until like 2 or 3 weeks before the convention. So I want it to happen. And we've been able to do things like this before with Amazon. And that's pretty much all that I can say. I don't want to make any promises I can't keep.
Right. You're always trying, but
remember, this is a good time to stick in that, typical response, which is everything you hear here. A is not, we're not officially talking for Dragon Con, but B is subject to change all of the time up until the Tuesday after, and even possibly longer than that.
Yeah, I always
used up Wednesday morning and realize the panel that you went to was not what you thought it was.
Yeah.
That is true. That is true. But you know what? Then you've learned something else, which I always
you probably drank too much. What?
No, it might mean that you were like, I'm just so tired. I'm going to sit in this room because it sounds a little interesting and it's so hot and I don't want to go to another hotel. And then you like all of a sudden went, oh man, I got like 3 more fandoms from the books they were talking about or the shows or the movies.
Yeah.
It's wonderful in that yay new stuff. It's terrible in I don't have any more shelves for fandoms. I'm looking I'm not turning it though because there's a big bright light behind my screen. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, this is my bookshelf and it encompasses the entire dining room wall. And
very
this
cool.
is not all of my books. There's another shelf over there that actually has all of my Wheel of Time stuff on it because the Wheel of Time series is so big it doesn't fit on one shelf. I have all my Sanderson stuff is over there as well. Oh my God, it's just so many books. Just so many books.
Yeah, well, and you just talked about that because I, of course, love books. And in a place of pride on my bookshelf, I have the Dark Tower series.
Yes.
Is that ever come into your stuff?
Yeah, those are right there. Like they're just on camera.
Cool. Is that in your track as well?
Yes. And so
awesome.
Stephen King is not officially assigned to any track. So there's several tracks that could cover Stephen King because he writes in so many different genres and whatnot.
So many different things.
And so I usually share, if we want to do any Dark Tower content, I always talk to Apocalyptic, the Apocalypse track. So that we can kind of like make sure we've both done Dark Tower panels on the same weekend. We just make sure that they are on different days. And we both think it's really funny or like, appropriate that they happen at 7 p.m. on the day that they're happening because that's 1900 hours and 19 is a significant number in that series.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. It's a major number, as is the number 3. There are so many major numbers in that book. And it's always so funny when people are like, we're waiting on this book, or the Robert Jordan books. And I'm like, dude, don't even. Until you're at like 15 years, I'm not talking to you. I waited 17.
Yeah.
Thought I was never getting another book. So,
yeah. I mean, he got hit by a van before he'd finished
He did. So, but he did finish it. So we're pretty happy.
He did finish.
And I can't wait to see what the new series is going to look like. While I did enjoy that movie that Idris Elba was in that had nothing to, and Matthew McConaughey, that had really nothing to do with the Dark Tower except names. I did enjoy it, but I'm really looking forward to taking that and actually
I thought the casting for that movie was perfect.
Spot on.
Idris Elba as Roland, I know that seems like an out of the box kind of thing, but once you see it, you can't forget it, and he was perfect. Same with McConaughey as the Man in Black. What I told, because I went to go see it with my husband who hasn't read any of those books. What I told him afterwards is it was a middling adaptation of a YA apocalyptic novel series that I had not read.
Yeah.
It was not Stephen King.
No.
Yeah.
But you're right. I mean,
elements of the books, but
there were names.
Yes.
And Aston was in there, which was aspirin, the way they say that, but yeah, not really much else. But you're right. Because somebody said Idris Elba, and I was like, because I always had somebody else as the gunslinger.
Yeah,
But
like
then
I think my
now I
favorite
can
fan
see it.
cast was Gary Sinise, was like the person I'd always heard like, oh yeah, that'd be good. But
He'd
as
be
soon as they
very good.
announced Idris Elba, I'm like, oh, so much better.
So much better. I know.
Mhm.
Oh, and Matthew McConaughey, you can see when he has those certain looks on his face, and he's a great actor. When he has
Mhm.
those sort of look, you're like, I am so glad I am not meeting you on a dark street,
Yep.
because I would be turning and going the other way. You're a little scary looking.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
those were great. Just like, I we could talk fandom castings all the time. We're not going to do that. Okay, John. Yeah, I see you smiling
yeah.
at me.
Brandon has a question. Would a fantasy podcast fall under high fantasy, such as Hello from the Magic Tavern?
So I'm not familiar with that one. If it's a podcast where it's like an ongoing audio drama, then yes, that would definitely fit into high fantasy and we could cover that. If it's dissecting high fantasy stories and things like that, I would love to have you sit on panels with us because I have a lot of podcasters who do panels
Oh,
for us.
awesome. Very
So
cool.
yes,
Very cool.
podcasters, please. If you know a good podcaster, like an audio drama style thing, I would love to cover that. Or if you just want to be on panels, let me know.
I will let you know. Yes, and if you ever do a Dark Tower one, I would love to just chat about the Dark Tower. I can go on in the Dark Tower as long as somebody who is a huge Tolkien fan can go on in those books, and that's perfectly fine. Everybody loves what they loves. Everybody likes what they likes.
Yep.
And all of that can live together, folks. Really, I promise we can all coexist.
That's why we have DragonCon.
My husband's Star Wars. I'm Star Trek. We should not even live in the same house. We're perfect.
Oh, you too?
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. I'm Star Trek. He's Star Wars, and I don't. Yeah, I don't understand what you like. This is my secret confession. I don't like Star Wars that much.
I know. Even with the fantasy laser swords.
Except my one exception to Star Wars being like kind of mid for me, Andor. I love Andor. In fact, I'm doing a rewatch of it with my brother right now, and we're both like, "Oh my god, this is so good! One more episode."
Oh, I can't wait till more. I'm really hoping because it really does get you to see how he moved from just somebody wanting to get money now to being who we saw in Rogue One and who became that kind of, this is right. Person.
And the thing that I really enjoy about Andor, this is my problem with a lot of Star Wars media, is you don't have to know the lore to follow the plot. Like I watched Obi-Wan with my husband because like Ewan McGregor came back to Star Wars. It's got to be good, right? Right. And then I watched it with him. I'm like, I don't understand half of what's going on in this episode because I did not watch Wars or anything else.
Yeah.
I don't understand why this like significant story beat we're pausing on makes any sense to me at all.
Right.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I had problems.
Doesn't do that.
Right. Andor didn't do that. And also, except for parts of Boba Fett, it didn't do that. So, you could get into that one without, and the Mandalorian was like, all right, that's really cool armor. That's about all you need to know.
Yeah. Not Boba Fett, but the Mandalorian tricked me because it started off being one of those shows where you didn't really have to know a lot of lore. And then as it's progressed, more and more lore keeps coming in. And so at the end of every episode, I have to go to Jimmy and be like, what's going on? Like, why, what's going on with this? Like, who is this lady?
We've just found a new job. We have just found a new job for people is that you can actually be the one who knows all the lore, do a podcast about it and say, all right, we are watching this and we're going to pause as we need to talk about why what they just said was important. And you could do that for almost every fandom. And people would still be like, oh my God. That would be what?
Very popular podcast.
Yes, it would be. It would be. Okay, John.
For free ideas for folks. Let's have we already told everyone where you're located?
Yeah, no, I just thought of that.
Okay. We are in Marriott L401, 402, 403, because it's one of those rooms that kind of like can expand.
Right.
We are
it's a room
we're on the lobby level. That's what the L stands for. We're on the lobby level on the same side as Starbucks.
Yes. There you
go. We're right across the hall from safety.
That's good.
And where do folks? Oh, yeah, they're the safest ones. The further away you get from safety, the less safety you have. No, but that's not true. That makes-
That's not true.
But the further you get from the safety, more likely the rock will be there. What do you call it? Oh, where are you at? Where are you located virtually?
There we go.
That's what
All right. We have a Facebook group, High Fantasy at DragonCon. That's where I put a lot of stuff. I know not everyone's on Facebook, and Facebook algorithm being what it is. We have talked about setting up a Discord. I'm not a Discord person, so that's one of the reasons why it just hasn't happened yet. But it is something we'll probably do eventually, maybe even in the next week or two.
There you go. Hey,
Right, cool.
it'll be coming. It'll be coming. Just wait for it. They'll know about it.
A couple more days now. Couple more days.
Oh, good. Let them go.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so this has been so cool. I love talking about. We could get into so many fandoms right now, but I'm trying to be good. So, John, why don't you take us to the next?
Yes, I will. I'm hold on, typing in the code for you guys to see right now
In the
and
private
then-
chat.
in the
Yeah.
private chat, and then let other people. So we like to play a game with our guests. Tonight we're going to play one. Tonight we're going to play one we haven't played here yet. It's called bracketeering. Oh, you'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Sure.
Oops, and that's showing. Hopefully, some people got a preview. But we actually can handle it. We can handle our whole audience with us in it.
Yeah.
today.
It is
So
very early on a Sunday. Hi,
Here we
y'all.
go. Yep. So I'll unhide this. The code, if you need it, is XCH.
XXCH.
Oh, XXCH. Well, it doesn't matter. Whoever's listening to this part of that, they don't care.
I
It's too
know,
late.
but just.
Are we doing the superhero one where you like fight each other?
No, this is a.
Oh, thank God.
It's more of a you rank answers till we get down to a winner for a particular question,
Okay.
Ooh, got it.
and you bet on who you think's going to win.
Got it. So while
And
we're
it-
waiting for this to load up, speaking of brackets,
Yes.
one of the things that we're doing at DragonCon this year is the worst person in Westeros, House of the Dragon edition. So we are going to do a bracket tournament of characters from House of the Dragon to see which person is the worst one.
I see.
Yeah.
And we didn't talk about this too. Are you doing anything for charity this year?
Other than having the signs out, we do not have a charity event this year. We
Okay.
just have so many things going on already that
Oh, yeah.
we just, there's can't do everything.
Well, and the only reason I brought it up is because, as we say, and first of all, John, I thought you said racketeering at first, and I went, "Oh, that's a problematic thing."
Well, we're
but-
doing that too.
Yeah, later. That's later. You and me off screen when we're being recorded. But yeah, no. So that would be an interesting thing. That's interesting. All right, John. Sorry, I'll be quiet now.
Oh, no problem. So we'll give everyone one more minute. Well, I'll ask this question from the Powell family. Does Critical Role and Legend of Vox Machina fall under high fantasy or gaming? Those, I guess, would be more.
So the answer is yes.
Okay.
Right now, gaming covers those. But if I find an interesting angle for high fantasy and I want to do something, I just have to work it out with gaming and make sure that we're not stepping on toes. So, like I said, we can do almost anything we want in high fantasy. We have a lot of space to play.
That is always very, very true. There is always something.
Mhm.
That is always something. So, okay.
All right, we're
So we're
starting.
ready?
Yep. You can hear
I
that,
couldn't
right?
hear it.
We've got big fun
Now I can.
waiting to be unleashed. We'll be posing some of life's most important questions.
Oh,
Your
God.
answers will be paired off in a no-holds-barred tournament. And your votes will determine which. This is bracketeering.
Oh, I don't know
I'm
why.
sending the topic of our first bracket to your
Skip.
devices now. Scariest name for a babysitting service. Ooh. Type in the best answer you can think of and hit send. If your answer wins the entire bracket, you'll be rolling in moolah. By the way, you can join the audience and play along by going to jackbox.tv and entering the room code.
Hold on. I'm coming.
Wow, he's doing my job for me. Yeah, so as they're filling that out, this is a good time to remind everyone, if you have a if you have a question or comment and you want us to ignore it and leave it on the voicemail.
You still haven't checked those. We're in real trouble.
I've checked. No, I have checked them. I just keep forgetting to play them.
Okay.
Note,
You can leave a.
your answers are being
There we go.
split off into one-on-one matchups. That means it's time to step up to the prediction table. On your device, you'll see one of the upcoming matchups for this bracket. If you can predict the answer that will get the most votes, you'll earn some sweet, sweet moolah. Oh, and don't forget, if you think the odds are stacked against your own answer, you can still get some cash by predicting the correct winner. The predictions are in.
All right, here we go.
It's time to dive into our first bracket.
Okay.
Bitter rivals collide. Use your device to vote on which you think deserves to win.
Scariest name
But
for
don't
baby.
forget, if you change your mind, you can change your vote.
Scariest baby name for a babysitting service. Chucky's Special Daycare
Just
or
running out the clock
Jason's Fun Park Playground. Chucky's
Time's
Special
up.
Daycare
Boom
wins.
goes the something or other. I can't remember how the expression goes.
Woohoo!
67% of the vote.
What an upset. No one saw this one coming.
All right,
Moving
Chucky's
on to
Special
our
Daycare
next
moves on.
matchup.
Scariest name for a babysitting service. Very legal services or Bye Bye Baby. BYE, baby. Okay, very legal services or Bye Bye Baby.
Actually,
Vote on your device now.
yeah, bye bye being BUY would also be scary.
Oh,
No contest.
Bye Bye Baby.
Any prediction
Woohoo!
made a killing.
Jen.
Come on, Jennifer.
I knew mine was going to lose
That's
against
so
Bye Bye
intentional.
Baby. 'Cause that is just such a better one.
Oh, I thought that was you. I'm sorry. Oops.
No, I voted for it.
Hobos for Hire or They Will Sleep. Scariest name for a
Ooh.
babysitting service. They Will Sleep or Hobos for Hire.
All I can think is whenever I see hobos, I think of our dear friend Rox.
It's done.
They
Like
Will
falling off a
Sleep
log.
is the scariest name.
That is terrifying, actually. I would,
over Hobos
yeah.
for Hire.
And now our last two contenders face off.
Okay, scariest name for a babysitting service.
This would
Incubator
be hard
or
to pick between.
We promise to return most of your child.
Actually, my question would be most as in
Just running out the clock now.
most of the people who stay here, or like your child would be 95% like
Someone's
whole.
babysitting
Like we're going to take
served.
it.
I mean, do you really need all 10 fingers?
I mean, really? See? Yeah.
What does a
So-
spoon do, anyways?
I have no
Before we
Right.
get to round two, it's time to make another prediction.
Okay.
Hey, you got a new matchup waiting for you on your device. Predict the one you think is gonna win.
All right, so now they're predicting between the rest of the brackets there.
This is a cute game.
The predictions are in. Let's jump back to our bracket for round two.
All right, so for round two, we got Chucky's
These answers
Special
exchanged
Daycare
some harsh
and
words at the
Bye
press
Bye
conference.
Baby. Or, as Lee put it, the better joke, BUY.
Right. You.
Upset in the making.
Boy? Anyway.
Get those last second votes in now.
Uh-oh. We're getting tied up.
Go ahead and kiss your sibling because it's a tie.
Ooh!
Tap on your device as fast as you
Tap
can.
on
to
your
cheer for
device as fast as you
answer.
can. Tap, 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 tap. He's winning. Chucky's
The tie
Special
has been
Daycare.
broken.
Ah,
Oh, how I hate ambiguity.
It's full split, though. I mean, that was pretty good. Both of those were good answers.
Okay, so
This could be the answer to beat.
Chucky's
but let's
Special
check out
Daycare
the
is going to make it to the
competition.
final. And
Folks, I've been waiting for this matchup my entire career.
they're between They Will Sleep and We Promise to Return Most of Your Children. They will sleep. Or
Will.
We promise to return most of your children.
A pinky finger. What's it? What's it?
This one's looking
Now,
over.
it's most of your children, not most of your child.
Fingernails grow back, right?
Gaga!
They will
They will
sleep
sleep.
wins. I need water.
And now the final face-off. What is the scariest name for a babysitting service?
They will sleep or Chucky's special daycare. Vote on your device now. Oof. It'll be a battle.
It has a battle. Look at this.
3-4. 3-4.
The struggle is real.
That's all we have.
I love how they're like counting down with those little
We
second
have our
things.
first winner.
They will sleep. That was Ale, but they cut off names, so I'm not sure who that really is.
Mhm.
Wow.
Thanks, Ale.
Let's see how the score shook out.
Oh wow, we get scores for that. Well, if I could read that, that would be
Okay, Ale is in the lead, followed by Gab and Sierra.
It's time for the blind bracket. We start with just the category.
good. Uh-uh.
Name an activity people probably did a lot in the old times. Write the first thing that comes to mind. We'll see the real bracket title after you answer.
How are you going to define olden times? Pre-pandemic? Is that? That
Just
feels,
come up with your
that feels
own olden time. Yeah, it does feel olden, doesn't it?
Name an
I was-
activity people probably did a lot in the olden times is the category. What are you going to say, Lee?
I was just going
Do
to
you have
say,
water? And need
I do
some?
have water. I have water. But no, I was just going to say I think it's funny because, what is olden times? Because, I always thought 54 would be really old. It's not anymore.
Mhm.
It's not at all.
Gab is, by the way, Gab is Gabe, and CHR is Chris.
Let's see what this bracket is really about.
And ETE
The skill
is
most necessary
imagining-
for survival in the
Zan.
post-apocalyptic future.
Although I wouldn't
You'll
choose
have to
Zan.
make yourself useful to our ostrich overlords. Time to get in those predictions.
Most necessary for survival in a post-apocalyptic future. The skill most necessary for survival in the post-apocalyptic future.
The predictions are in. Time to get it on.
Okay, the skill most necessary for survival in the post-apocalyptic future is
I mean, there's
the
only
use of
one answer here.
encyclopedias or hanky-panky. Wait,
That is not a good skill. Hanky panky.
I think
Come on, folks. Come on. Encyclopedias. Come
Lee,
on.
hanky panky's not a good skill. Like,
Well, I mean, it's a good skill, but in the future, unless there's a doctor to help with some of, the babies that come from hanky panky,
we got to
They
keep
did.
the species alive here.
we'll
All right,
figure
so
that
hanky-panky
out
was
later.
talking about dragons or courting maidens.
Which one goes along with mating? I'm just kind of
Skill most
real-
necessary
I
for
mean,
survival in a post-apocalyptic future.
It depends on what your post-apocalyptic is, because there is that post-apocalyptic dragon movie with Matthew McConaughey from about
Exactly.
20 years ago.
What a whirlwind!
see. That's why I put encyclopedia because it's like I don't know how to
Let's
figure
see
out
what's
what's
happening
deadly
over
or
on the
not
other
in
side
a
of
plant.
Okay. Discovering land or die of boredom. The skill most necessary for survival in a post-apocalyptic future is discovering land or die of boredom.
Some people like that die of boredom, though. So
Just running out the clock now.
Well, there's no more internet. Clearly, we're going to die of boredom.
we are, all, yeah, those things called books now.
Looks like everyone got this one wrong.
So, in case, because I'm just catching up here,
It's time to round out the
we actually
bracket with
answered.
this
We actually
vicious
answered a different
matchup.
question, right?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
got it. The skill most necessary for survival in a
Overwhelming
post-apocalyptic
support
future
already.
is brushing horses or jousting.
It's
I would
really
make a
going
case for
back
either
and
one of
forth.
these.
I was dealing with something else until I realized. Wait, I was
Will
confused
we
as to
see
why
a
the question
final
changed.
push?
It's because it was a blind.
Right.
Talk
get the
about an
joke.
underdog tale.
Jousting wins.
There you go.
For skill you need in a post-apocalyptic world.
Before we get on to round 2, it's time to make another prediction.
All right, everyone's betting on who they think will win. And one of the brackets.
The predictions are in. Let's
Why,
jump
reason
back
why
to
I
the
like this
bracket
one is
for
it keeps
round
moving.
2.
I don't have to delay for 3 minutes trying to fill. Anyway, necessary for survival in the post-apocalyptic future, hanky panky or talking about dragons.
Not a lot of votes yet.
You hanky panky people are going to be in trouble. You are. I'm just telling you now.
Big win.
Well, can't you have
Daddy
hanky panky
likes.
without the results?
Okay, in a post-apocalyptic world, do you understand all of that's going to go away?
There's
Well-
no more internet. What else am I going to do for fun?
Get away from these next 2 answers.
I
That's a
have
good
to
point.
fill that time with something.
Yeah.
Discovering land or jousting, which is more important, or most important, or necessary for the post-apocalyptic future we're all facing.
See, I don't understand the discovering land. I guess it would
That's
be
what
like
they used to do
discovering
in the
people.
old times. They used to discover land.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, see, it took me
I
a minute
got it.
too.
That was a
I got it now.
Titans.
There we go.
Hanky panky is post-apocalyptic hokey pokey.
And now we
Okay, Brandon,
Says
I need a
Brandon.
sign that
What is
says
the
that.
best skill for the post-apocalyptic future?
Prove me wrong.
Prove me wrong. That's exactly it.
Okay, hanky panky or jousting, which is more important in a post-apocalyptic future?
A clear front runner.
Hanky panky's winning right now. 5
Mhm.
5-0, 7-0.
We're done.
Unless someone changes their mind now.
We have a winner.
I just went with all of y'all talking about hanky panky. I was like, all right. There we go.
Another peek at the scoreboard.
Uh-oh.
Let's
I
see
can't
who's
peek at
winning
it.
here.
I can't even see it.
Looks like Ale is in the lead. I don't know who Ale is. Gabe is right behind it, and Eternal Zan. I'm
And
assuming
now for the bracket you've all been waiting
Here we
for,
go.
the triple blind bracket.
Oh, Lord.
This bracket will change every
Oh.
single round. Here's your starting category.
Oh, walking
In
man.
any store or recognizable restaurant. Who knows what crazy twists and turns this bracket will take?
name any store or recognizable restaurant. I'll tell you what I would put after everyone else has put theirs in.
I only had to put one answer, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just that the what you're actually answering is going to change.
Oh, that'll be a problem.
Do, 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 do.
'Cause I don't really know.
Turtle
Makes
Zang.
sense.
Think
Time's running out.
any store or recognizable
Let's see what
restaurant.
we're
There we go.
dealing with.
Everyone's in.
Place you're most likely to run into John Goodman.
Oh,
Yeah.
Time to get in those predictions.
Place you're
Why am
most
I not
likely.
seeing-
All cash
oh,
is
here we go.
round, so make these choices count.
Cash is doubled, folks. Cash is doubled,
Oh my!
Two
Go, go,
times.
go!
but
The
not as much as three
predictions are
times.
in.
All right. Place you
Here
most likely
comes
run
trouble.
into John Goodman. Ace Hardware or Hard Rock
These
Cafe?
answers faced off last year, but will the results be the same? The lead keeps changing hands.
Two people are very confused.
I'm voting.
Vote!
That had more
Come
time
on!
than playground.
I don't know. He just seems like the kind of guy that would be at the Ace Hardware. Like he seems like really down to
Exactly.
earth, kind of a handyman kind of guy.
And he's lost all that weight. He don't want to go somewhere
Stop.
bad to eat, like
Uh-huh.
Hard Rock, which is just going to kill
That
people.
was bound to happen.
Oh, now that's just mean, folks.
I think I'm back now. Lost my mic there for a minute. Place you're most likely to run into John Goodman. Target
This one
or
seems like
Taco
it's over
Bell?
before it's done.
Taco Bell is in the lead.
Yep.
I mean, you run into a lot of people at Taco Bell.
Especially at like 3 a.m. in the morning, 2 a.m.
Yeah. Yeah. 3 a.m. in the morning at Taco Bell is life's great equalizer.
Predictions are mounting over in the Eastern
All right.
Conference.
Walmart or hot dog on a stick?
This is my job.
Place you're likely to run into John Goodman, Walmart or hot dog on a stick?
No matter how many people say it, you do go to Walmart every so often
This close.
because it's terrifying. And you got to go get like toilet paper.
Well, also
Just
I need
running
some
out the
cheap
clock
knockoff Chinese
now.
stuff, so.
Walmart is
Doesn't
one of
even-
our great liminal spaces.
It's
That
a
was back and forth more than Luke and
terrible
Lorelai.
place, but
Hot
dog on a stick.
hot dog on a stick was the winner, yes.
On
And,
a stick.
looks like Chris got
And now our last two contenders face off.
Oh, Trader Vic's or Burger King. Most likely to run. Oh, come on.
You know what?
This has got to run away with it. Come on,
Yeah.
not Burger King. 4-2 right now for Trader Vic's.
Think about how much booze there is in the back.
I feel like we run into a lot of people at Trader
This one's
Vic's
looking
one
over.
particular weekend of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, what weekend would that be?
I don't know.
And y'all,
Christmas?
it's really
Christmas weekend?
tasty. The food's a little expensive, but really tasty.
Time for a title change.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Best public bathrooms to be forced to use as your only bathroom for a year.
Oh, no.
Predictions in now.
I know one that should definitely not win.
I don't
Oh,
like
my.
Best public bathrooms to be forced to use as your only bathroom for a year.
Oh, that's a terrible idea.
Yeah, there's a few on there you probably don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
The predictions are in. Let's jump back to our
I mean, do I
bracket
gotta
for
clean it,
round
or-
two.
Ugh.
So it's either Hard Rock Cafe or Taco Bell. Which is the best public bathroom to be forced to use for only as your only bathroom?
Where is
for a year?
neither? Neither.
Taco Bell. It's okay. 4-2 for Hard Rock
What
right now.
else are you guys going to?
I don't know.
Kinda-
Hard Rock Cafe,
Taco Bell
fortunately,
is this.
wins.
We got a winner.
There was somebody just like me going, where is none of the above as a point? Oh
All
my
right.
God.
We're
So
just one
Trader
match away
Vic's-
from our finals.
Or hot dog on a stick. Now, I don't think hot dog on a stick typically has. They're usually just in the
Don't
mall,
know.
right?
Must be a blowout.
But Trader Vic's or hot dog on a stick, which would you?
I mean, I feel like the vibes would be amazing at a Trader Vic's bathroom.
Yeah. Plus, they have those really cool doors.
That kind of domination is illegal in some states.
Trader Vic's wins. Brandon points out that I have to believe Taco Bell has developed some resilient bathroom toilets.
One final
Very
switcheroo. Most romantic wedding location.
Aw.
Oh. Mm.
Now the final face-off.
Oh, no.
Okay, well, I mean, come on. Hard Rock Cafe or Trader Vic's? It's got to be. Whoa, apparently someone disagrees.
I'm
Trader
going with
Vic's.
Trader Vic's.
Not that I'm trying to put my thumb
Oh,
on the
me
scale
too.
or anything.
Me too. Because think
Romantic
about
wedding
it. There's going to
location,
be
Hard Rock Cafe or Trader Vic's? Ooh,
there's
should
going
we
to
get
be
a tie?
great food at
Oh, I
Trader
thought we were
Vic's.
gonna tie.
Seems like it's over
Oh, can't.
before
Hard
the
Rock
final.
Cafe, they can't turn the music off.
Right? Exactly.
Always too loud in there.
Trader Vic's
Always.
wins most romantic wedding location. That was Ale, whoever is ALE.
Who is ALE? We're really
Let's see
dying to
who
know.
won it all.
Final scores.
Gabe is in third place. Chris is in second place. And the winner is Ale. Anybody know who Ale is? Put in the
Whoever they
chat.
are, they're killing it today.
Whoever
comments.
Ale is, congratulations. And I
That's
think LEI was the last one on that because nobody liked my answers.
All right. Well, we will go ahead and remove that from the stream and maybe make it shut up too. Shut up!
It won't do it. That was a lot
it
of
will
fun,
now.
John.
There we
I
go.
like that one.
All
I
right.
do.
I would play that game again.
All
Yes.
right. Well, good to know. It's got another one in our pocket then.
Yeah.
That allows for more people. So especially like on a night when we get a bunch of people.
Yes.
Good. I'm glad you guys liked it. All right. So Jennifer, again, let us know the name of your track, because if you're watching on
Oops.
Facebook right now, they wouldn't let me change the title. So the name of your track, where you can be found virtually, and where can you be found physically? I mean,
Let's see,
during
we're on
con.
the fantasy track at Dragon Con. We are in the Marriott, L401 403, behind the Starbucks. And we've got a Facebook group, High Fantasy at Dragon Con.
Very cool. And folks, the reading High Fantasy Lit, that was my fault, not Jen's, me. I oopsed.
She's fine. She's fine. It's all good.
I'm so sorry.
But
But
when
John,
you look at the app, when you look at the app and you see the schedule, you'll figure it
You
out.
start high fantasy, and there we go.
yeah, there's only one High Fantasy, no matter what. So
Yes.
you're gonna find it there. That's the good thing. And no, the app is not up, nor will it be up until at least 2 weeks before con. It might be earlier, it might be a little later, but it's right around that 2 week mark. So don't ask.
Yeah. The con gods have not decided yet.
No, they haven't. You
They
never
don't even
know.
tell the track directors when they're releasing the app. Like we're just as surprised as you are.
We're just as excited as everybody else.
Like,
I don't
oh,
remember
look,
programming
it's
any of that.
Did I really put that before? Oh, plus you never know. We are a month out, little less. Like
I mean, I
28
got
days.
a whole bunch of changes, like little tweaks I need to like email Regina about this afternoon. So
That's it. So there you go, folks. Just be ready. It's going to be fun. You're going to have a
All
lot
right.
of time.
Just go with it. Just go with the Dragon Con flow. That's it.
Yep.
That's what you got to
Best
do.
thing you can do, folks. Hang loose.
All right. All right. So until next time, for Jennifer and Lee, this is John saying peace.
And bye.
This was a production of The Unique Geek. Call our comment line at 8133210TUG. That's 81332108884. Email us at thegeeks@theuniquegeek.com or 50days@theuniquegeek.com. Follow The Unique Geek on Facebook and Twitter. This podcast is distributed under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial Share-alike license.
Chair dancing is fun.
Chair dancing is fun. Whee!
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Oh, if I could move my neck, I'd be like bouncing it, but ow today. Just ow. Thanks.
And